Sonic Racing Crossworlds has officially come out, and while I am a huge Sonic nerd, I did have my doubts about this game. A few months ago, I made a quick video talking about Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and questioned if $70 was a little too high, especially with a $30 DLC added onto it, if it was a little too expensive for a game like that. Especially when a certain plumber decided to make his games $80. But with the release of Sonic Racing Crossworlds, is this game worth your time? Or does it waste your time? Does this game perform well? Or does it crash more than Helldivers 2 does? And finally, is this game worth the price? Or is this game filled with corporate monetizations that'll have you questioning why your child has spent $1,000 on a video game using your money? Let's talk about that.
But what if you can blast through and race on a whole nother level? What if you could warp across different dimensions, fully customize and build out your machine, and compete head-to-head across different platforms? Or what if you want to roam around on the open road?
Dang, Sega went all out with the marketing for this game. They're making a callback to the 90s. Well anyways, when it comes to Sonic Racing games, some of the games would feature a story mode that would coexist with the game. And while this game doesn't have any real story mode, there is a lot of background information that Crossworlds gives us that helps us understand what's going on currently in the universe. Coming back from Sonic Team Racing, King Dodonpaw is hosting another racing Grand Prix and has invited a lot of Sonic's friends and rivals to race and see who is the best. That's pretty much all there is to this story. Because the game doesn't have much of a story, the game instead implements a mechanic known as the rival system that has the characters poking fun at one another before the race. Or for certain characters, hope to kick the rivals' asses after the race or even during the race. Sonic having a race in a car, unless you've modded the game on PC, you'll have the choice of either having a speed, acceleration, handling, power, or boost vehicle, in which the boost categories focus around the extreme gears from Sonic Riders. I'm so happy that they brought back extreme gears. As a fan of the original Sonic Riders and somewhat of a fan of Zero Gravity, I'm glad to see that extreme gears come back alongside fan favorite characters like Jet, Wave, and Storm as well. Racing in this game is fairly simple. You hold down the gas when the countdown hits 2 and you'll get a boost, like in Mario Kart. But if you don't want to do that, you can hold down the acceleration and hover over the sweet spot to get the boost if that works out better for you. You also have a drift with different levels of charge that'll give you a boost of speed once you let go of the drift. And you can also do tricks when jumping off of ramps, or when your machine is in water, you can use your drift to instead do a jump and land tricks for some extra boost. Then you have the rings that you can collect on the course that will make your engine sing better than everyone, the more you collect. But as easy as it is to collect rings in the game, you can also lose rings by hitting walls, hitting other opponents, or in most cases, getting hit by items. Oh boy, let's cover that. Items in this game are kind of similar to Mario Kart's, but different in a few ways. There's the green boxing glove that acts like a green shell from Mario Kart, a red version that homes in on targets in front of you, like the red shell, the white wisps that are essentially your mushrooms, drill, which acts like your bullet bill, monster truck that acts like the giant shroom, a spike ball that's pretty much the banana, a slime attack that covers your screen kind of like the blooper in Mario Kart, but instead of just covering your screen, it also slows you down. And the last one that's notable to Mario Kart, and the bane of my existence here, the Big Boom Boo, which acts like the blue shell. When King Boom attacks, he'll leave a line of tornadoes behind the player that he originally targeted, so everyone behind the character that got hit will also get hit too. Those are the only items to my knowledge that closely resemble Mario Kart personally, but there are many other items that you can use to your advantage, or toss them in favor of better items. Like this saw attack that will target the enemy like the red glove, but when it hits the target, it'll also cause them to lose their item. You also have a bomb item that you can hold onto to increase its size, and then roll it in front or behind you to have it flatten and explode other races. There's also a magnet item that acts like the iron ball, but if you get into its field, it'll pull you towards it and either slow you down or throw you off into a corner that you weren't trying to head towards. Another item that targets the top 3 players is the weights item. This item will cause the top 3 players to be flattened for a couple seconds, slowing them down, while also making them drop their items. There's a few other items in this game, but I've gone on long enough talking about the items here, so I'll let you experience the ones that I didn't cover, and let you come to your own conclusions on how they feel, or if they closely resemble Mario Kart 2. When racing in Grand Prix mode, you'll unlock more tracks, higher speeds for the races, kind of like how Mario Kart has their CCs, and new rivals that you can race against at higher difficulties. Grand Prix mode has you racing in 4 different races, with the 4th race being a combination of the previous 3 courses combined into one. Yes, you heard that right. 3 race courses combined into one. How can that be? Well, it's due to Crossworld's new mechanic, the Crossworld mechanic. Right. Before the end of the first lap on the course that you started on, the person in first place will get to choose between going to a set course or a random course. Once they made the decision, the race will then take place in a different course for a full lap before going back to the original course for the final lap. The 4th race in Grand Prix mode will have the 3 starting courses and also will change the point value from 15 points to 18 points if you get in first place, to help you get a little edge in the competition in case you whiffed it in the previous race or something. Grand Prix mode also has you collecting red rings in every course that'll help you collect the Dom Pod tickets, which I'll cover more later. Besides Grand Prix mode, Crossworlds also has a mode known as Race Park, where you can compete against the AI to win a few races, while also adding a few different twists to the game. You can have a race where not only does your team have to place high on the leaderboard, but your team has to collect more rings than the other team to get another added bonus to your score. You can have a race with the same premise, but instead of having the most rings, you need to hit the enemy team with the most items. There's also a racing mode, but instead of regular items, you'll have heavy hitting items, causing more chaos on the track. Chaos! Or you can have a standard race, which was one of the ways I beat the rivals in the mode. In Race Park, rivals are team-based, unlike in Grand Prix mode. Once you win against the rival team enough, you can win a few machines to use or customize, which I'll also cover later. One thing I really like in this game that a lot of games don't really do as much anymore is couch co-op. You can play Grand Prix mode and Race Park with up to 4 players at a time and have fun racing against each other, or even have them help you defeat a few of the other rivals in this game. This honestly seems like a fun little way to get 4 people together to play Sonic Racing Crossworlds, to do like a fun little tournament or just have fun playing the game with each other. Race Park also can be played online with friends, but you can't play Grand Prix mode, and the host is the only one that gets the main rewards here, as if you're not the host, you're not going to be getting a whole lot of tickets to it. You're not going to get the vehicles if you haven't already gotten them. So this is more of a thing that you want to have for a person that hasn't played Race Park and wanting to help them out more than anything. Besides Race Park and World Match, you can also end up making your own private lobby to get 12 other people together online and have a race with each other on any kind of course with any kind of rules that you want to set as well. But say you want to get better on the track and know the ins and outs of every course without having to worry about your competition. Well, that's where the time trials comes in. In time trials, you'll go 3 laps on the course you chose to test your skills on the track. The better the time, the higher your rank will be at the end of the trial. This is the only mode that doesn't have crossword mechanics, as all 3 laps will keep you on the same course. Once you're done dipping your toes in all these modes, I highly recommend you try out the World Match mode. This is the online racing mode where you go against other players from around the world and compete for first place. I've never really got to play a Sonic Racing game online before, as I've never really had the internet back in the day, and when Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform came out, I did hear that this had a good online community, but I never got to experience that, sadly. However, for Sonic Racing Crossworlds here, this game to me honestly has a strong community as well. I've met a couple great people online through Twitch. I've met a couple people that are just fans of Sonic that are playing the game, and just it seems like it has a strong community around it. Kind of a good W for even just a Sonic game, not gonna lie. World Match mode also has a ranking system that'll have you put against other races who are close to your rank as well. It's personally not anything that you should have to worry about if you play casually, but it's fun to see how well you're doing and what placement you fall under. Every once in a while, the game will host a special event called Festival Mode that you can play online to help collect new rewards and items for your vehicles. It's pretty much just like Race Park, where there are special bonuses that can help you and your team win the race, though this mode weirdly doesn't let you win tickets unless you get points for the festival. Oh yeah, I kinda need to talk about that. Upon finishing a race, you'll be rewarded with the Don Pa tickets. These tickets are used to help you unlock different parts, decals, and horns for your machines. You can also customize your machines with different parts as long as they're in the same category, so you can't have a speed and power part. This allows you to play around and style your machines however you want, as well as add your own codes of paint and decals showing off your favorite characters, or to help promote the many brands that partnered with this game. Seriously, why are there so many real-life brands in this game? Machines aren't the only things that you can customize in this game, as you can also customize your gadgets in the game as well. As you play the game, you will unlock new gadgets and more slots for your gadgets to be able to use during races. Gadgets can change the way you play the game, like allowing you to have 200 rings as a max instead of 100, faster drill charging, faster drift charging, performing tricks faster, increase the likelihood of certain items to drop, or even giving your machine a bonus to its stats. Gadgets are essential to winning a race, so pick the ones that you really like and play around with them a bit to get the best out of your setup. After finishing Grand Prix mode, you'll unlock Friendship mode, which honestly is the worst place to grind tickets for. Once you unlock friendships in the extras menu, you can send your tickets to your favorite characters to get special titles, decals, and also their AI skins from the race park. But the amount of tickets you need to get these rewards are way too high. If I wanted to get an item from Amy over here, it cost me nearly 7,000 tickets to get her next level. Now imagine that, but with every character.
No, I don't think I will.
One thing I really like about this game is the fact that this game doesn't really throw any microtransactions at you. In a time where games are coming out bundled with microtransactions, trying to get more money out of you even though you spent like maybe $60, $70, $80 for a game. Shout out to Call of Duty. But I do think that the ticket values need to either go up or the thresholds for the rewards need to go down, because the grind is honestly a little too much and it seems like it would take forever to end up getting everything in the game. So in an update, I'd like to see one of those things happen. I do not recommend 100%ing this game for that reason alone. In Crossworlds, there are 24 main courses and 15 Crossworld courses, with 6 more main courses to be added later in the season pass. For the most part, all of them have fun mechanics, while others will take inspiration from other Sonic games like Radical Highway from Sonic Adventure 2, or Rooftop Run, Market Street from Sonic Unleashed. When racing on the courses, I found that I liked the land and air mechanics of the game, but I'm not a fan of the boat mechanics. When you're in boat form, your drift gauge turns into a jump gauge. The higher the number, the higher your jump. This makes certain water courses a little more challenging, as you have some with hard turns. Seriously, sometimes I have to slow my machine down so much so I don't have to keep rubbing up against the walls. Thankfully, at least in my opinion, there's not a whole lot of courses that focus on the boat transformation, as a few of the water maps feature mostly straightaways before going back into regular racing mode. Sonic Racing Crossworlds also has a lot of great music in the game, as every track has different kind of versions. At the beginning of a track, you'll have an intro version of the song, and once you start, you'll have the first lap version of the song, and then finally, you'll have the final lap version of the main course song, with the Crossworld songs taking over for the second lap. You can also unlock more songs by having a higher rank in time trials. Upon having a certain amount of A ranks or higher, you'll be rewarded with more Sonic songs from the original games as well. I admit, I didn't really like the intro theme that much to the game, but it did rub off on me, and I do find it a little catchy. A lot of the songs in Crossworlds are honestly really good, especially the main course ones. But the ones I didn't really like a whole lot were the final lap versions, where they would intensify the music while also throwing in a choir version of it. And to me, it didn't really land on the mark to make it more intense. A few of them are great, but not a lot of them land, and to me, it just didn't really sound as good as the first lap version or the intro to the course. Lastly, let's talk about the Season Pass. The Season Pass will include popular characters like Mega Man, Minecraft, and a few Nickelodeon characters like SpongeBob,
Preparing the Krabby Patty!
and the Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga.
There's also going to be more Sega characters that'll be released later down the line as free DLC. So yes, you'll be able to play as Ichiban in November, and the cover of Crossworlds already spoiled that Knights will be in the game in the future, so expect that too. I should also mention that I did run into a few issues during gameplay as well. I'm not the kind of guy that runs tests on performance and quality for games, so I can't tell you if the game's running below 60 FPS. But the game does have a few issues when it comes to the tracks themselves. Another thing that happens is communication errors when playing online. I usually would find this problem during festival seasons and mostly on PC. I played on the PlayStation 5 version for the review, and for the time I played on the console, I would run into a few communication errors, but not as bad as the PC side when playing with others. Besides that, the game never really crashed on me and it ran pretty well for what it had. However, I did have a few issues with the tracks themselves not working as designed. Another thing that happens here and there are a lot of communication errors when playing online. I usually would find this problem during festival seasons and mostly on the PC side. I played the PlayStation 5 version for the review, and for the time I played on console, I would run into a few communication errors when playing online, but not as bad as what PC players seem to have. Besides that, the game never really crashed on me or ever soft locked, so in that aspect, the game runs pretty well. So now we come to the conclusion and the question you might be asking. Is this game worth buying? To that I'd say yes and no. It's a little complicated to say. The game has so many things packed into it, and with it getting more content as time goes on, you'll have a great time playing this game for quite some time. However, I know a few people who play racing games and others who are excited to see certain characters come to this game, but aren't willing to pay $70 or even $30 more for this game just to get certain characters. I still believe that this game should have been a little cheaper in price, like around $40 to $50 for the main game. So if you're looking for a game to play during the holidays, I'd highly recommend Sonic Racing Crossworlds if this game gets discounted during that time, as I feel like this game would be worth it if it had a discount on it. If not, then it's completely up to you on how you feel about the game.
Yo, what's up, guys? Editor here. Good news. Sonic Racing Crossworlds is 30% off at the time of rendering this video, so I thought I would let you know personally, so that way it might help you make your decision here. You can find it 30% off till the 2nd, basically the 3rd there. It's like midnight Pacific time on the Epic Game Store. Nintendo eShop is the 3rd, so basically the 4th. Xbox Store is the 3rd, basically the 4th there. The PlayStation Store is only till the 1st though. Midnight also basically the 2nd, I guess. But just so you know, if you're playing on PlayStation, get a little earlier there. That's the Black Friday sale there for you guys. I thought I would bring it up because it might help you make your decision about this game.
If you guys want to try this game out, the demo is out on PS5, PS4, Xbox, Steam, pretty much anywhere, and you can come to your own conclusions on if you want to pick up this game or not. And if you know a friend that has the game, you can try the game out over at their place, get a group of friends together and play together on a couch, have a LAN party, touch some grass for like 5 seconds.
No, I don't think I will.
And then run back inside as it's scary outside. I really do think that Sonic Racing Crossworlds holds up against Mario Kart. It makes as a good rival to Mario Kart, and it really does show that Sega put a lot of heart into this game, as it kind of feels like a really strong game. So here's to hoping that this is a good competitor to Mario Kart.